Let the mind games begin. Wow, what an awesome chapter. Probably one of my favorites thus far in Naruto. Oh, wow.
43rd chapter of Naruto. This is the 10th question. You must.
Oh, man, I like this shit. I like this dude. This Abiki is a cool mother. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and mind-bending tale of Naruto. Our last chapter, of course, saw us in the last couple. The tension has just been so thick because this 10-question test, 9 of which were given up front, and the 10th one you had to wait until 45 minutes into the actual test. Just the trickery, the people trying to, trying to cheat but not get caught cheating because you get deducted points. Just insane, man. Really good character development, good stuff. And really the chapter left off on it about to be that point where he's going to release the 10th question, you know. So that's where things leave off, and that's where this one picks up, you know. He says, and everybody get ready for the 10th question. And of course Kankuro is still in the bathroom, but, you know, he remakes his little crow, whatever that is that he has, that power where it looks like an examiner, looks like one of the proctors. He comes in and he's like, oh, looks like you made it just in time, sit down. And you can tell, too, it's great because Abiki can actually see through his bullshit. And he knows what he's been doing the whole time. At least that's what it appears like, because he's like, yeah, with your examiner or whatever, you know. So, you know, and then you see Kankuro thinking like, God, does he know? Does he know? You know. But this was cool, right? So we started out with 51 cells, right? So you get 153, you know, prospective graduates, right? They're taking this test, and so far as we knew as of last chapter, 13 of them had already been disqualified for cheating, getting caught cheating. So now that leaves us with 38 teams, right? And if my math is right on 38 teams, I think that'll put us at what, about like 114, I think, something like that, students left. Nonetheless, though, Naruto's been sweating the entire time, and this one was great because it actually goes and takes us, it leaves us hanging on that 10th question for a minute, and then it goes and it takes us to, you know, to the Asuma, the cell leaders, Kakashi and Asuma and Kurenai, I believe her name is. And they're all sitting around like don't know what to do with themselves. They're like, well, we can't go on any missions and really do anything. You know, our students are busy with the exams and what have you. And then they're like, you know, somebody says, you know, word has it that Morino Abiki is this year's examiner, you know. And Kakashi's like, Abiki, that sadist. And Kurenai is new to the exam. She just recently has gotten to the point where she's in charge of, you know, where she actually has a cell herself and whatnot. And I guess this guy is, she doesn't know about it, so they explain to her. This guy is like a master of interrogation. He's actually like the elite leader of the special interrogation, like task force, right? So this guy specializes in torture and mind games. You know what I mean? Just absolutely awesome. And he's the rank of, I believe, Jonin. So I believe it would go the Genin, Chunin, and then is it Jonin? I believe that's, I believe I have the hierarchy right there. If I don't, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I won't slip my wrist today, but maybe tomorrow. We'll see. So I'm trying to get this all wrapped around and whatnot. But so anyway, we find out that this dude is pretty hardcore, right? He's and he plays mind games with you. So it doesn't matter how much you try to go and overtake him psychologically. This guy preys upon the human weaknesses that come from just being human, right? And he exploits those. He finds them, he exploits them. And very, very cool stuff, man. Very cool mental warfare, right? So the rest of the chapter then takes place back in the actual exam room. And he goes and he says, all right, it's time for the final and 10th question. But here, I have one last rule that I'm going to add. And they're like, whoa, 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 hold on a second. That's bullshit. You can't do it. And he's like, I can do what I want. Here's the deal. If you reject the 10th question, if you decide not to answer it, you want to reject it, that's fine. You fail, your cell fails, you get up, you leave. And they're like, well, immediately, you know, and everybody's like, well, why the hell would you reject the 10th question? Just why would you just take it? And he goes, because if you choose to answer the 10th question and stay, and you get it wrong, you can never, ever take the Chunin exam again. You will be stuck at this junior level shinobi for the rest of your days. There will be no way to do it. So then you get somebody who complains, says, well, no, that's bullshit, man. You know, I call, boy, there's other guys, there's other people here that have taken it, there's multiple times they've taken the test and blah, blah. And Abiki says, Yeah, and that's great for them, but I only started taking over the test and making the rules this year. So, as long as I'm here, from everything moving forward, this is how it's going to be. So, whoever wants to, reject the question now, this is a lifelong decision that you're making. This is a life decision. This is a total mindfuck, right? Because if you're scared, if you feel like there's any hesitation or doubt in your heart or your mind, you want to raise your hand and get out of there, right? Because at least, live to fight another day. I can come back and take it next year, blah, 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 right? And there's no guarantees other than that I'll actually be able to get to take it again. But if I go and accept this question and it's a head scratcher, I just can't answer it, or I don't answer it properly, I can never, ever, ever get past this level. So, I mean, what a conundrum. What a great thing to pose to these kids. I mean, between 12 and probably 17, 18 years old, I guess. I don't know. And so anyway, so out of these, 114 or whatever it is that are left, the crowd starts thinning out a little bit more. You get one guy, you know what, I'm sorry, and he apologizes to his teammates. I'm sorry, I can't do this shit. So, okay, you're disqualified. 111, 130, whatever. Boom, get out, right? Somebody else raise their hand. So they start flocking out. They start going out, in droves, right? And the whole time Sakura is going and like, she's thinking about Naruto. Instead of thinking about herself, she's like, I think I can answer the question just fine. But Naruto, if he winds up going and saying he can answer it and then screws it up, we'll all be screwed. And, so maybe it's better for him. And she's trying to make the decision for him, right? So it's great, though, because as the tension builds and you get some other people walking out and everything, and you're thinking, oh, and Naruto goes and he's shaking and he's about to go and put up his hand. And then you know what we get? We get this fucking awesome page right here where he just goes and he's just like, BAM! Slams his hand down. He's like, Yahtzee, bingo! Never underestimate me. I don't quit and I won't run. And I really, really like that. I'll accept your stupid question. Even if I end up being a rookie for the rest of my life, I'll still become Lord Hokage. Even if I can only make it by pure stubbornness, I don't care. I'm not afraid of you. And I really like how that was, because Naruto's done that a couple of times so far, where he just kind of goes and sticks his neck out there. He puts it all out there. But that's what I like about the kid, man, is that he puts it all out there all the time. It's all heart. He's not hiding anything. He's not pulling any punches. This is what you get. And if you don't like it, fuck off. And that I really like how he did that. So it was really cool, because then you go in and Abiki says, and he goes and tries to give him another chance, and he says, and if there's anybody else and there's any doubt, then he's thinking in his mind, he's like, all right, well, he goes, I don't know about this one here, but, he basically, with him speaking out like that, he calmed and quelled the fears of all the other prospective students. Nobody else is going to leave right now, and we find out that there's 78 left, so I don't know, but if I do my math right on this, and you carry the this and then you carry the that would mean that there's approximately 26 teams left. So anyway, and it's not approximate, it's actual, but whatever. So there's 26 teams left, 78 of them. So he goes, looks up, and he goes, and here's the final question then, you've all chosen to accept, and this and that. And he goes, you all pass. And I'm like, son of a bitch! It was a freaking trick question. It was to weed out the people that had self-doubt and that had, and if you have doubt in your heart, why are you taking this exam? This exam is all about, and I know this from being in the martial arts, when you go to promote and you go to test, and you would go to get to that next rank, the belt, one thing my father always taught me is always be prepared. Make sure that you are the best in your class of whatever belt it is that you're at, to go and to promote to, because you don't want to be that person that has to retake it, or that's not good enough, or that just barely got in. You want to be the best that you can be. So to do that, there's times that I would skip over promotions when other people were going ahead and every couple of months going, I got another belt, I'm promoted, but they were still, their technique was nowhere near what mine was. And it was because I made sure that if there was 10 people testing, I was number one. I was the best. I had no fear, no doubt. I knew the techniques. I knew the forms. I knew what I have to break, this and that. Very, very cool stuff, though, and like I said, just reminds me of my days in the martial arts. So I know obviously it's a fictional story and it's different, but some of these things are drawn from real life stuff. So this was great to see, and I just love how it ended, man, with the, well, you all pass, So, and I thought, and he was thinking that more were going to be weeded out, but he knew Naruto's, speech and his kind of defiance brought some people back down, and they said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go for it too. So very cool stuff. Now my chapter question, though, brothers and sisters, if you couldn't figure it out already, is really what were your thoughts on really the first phase of this exam really being bullshit in a lot of ways. Everything that they did, as long as they didn't get caught cheating five times, the answers, none of that crap mattered It only mattered in the end if you had the balls and the self-confidence to go and to say and put yourself and the future of your other teammates, of course, on the line by going and saying, I'll take that question, you know, so I'll take that for 300, Alex. Anyway, leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Check out my other channel, as well as Facebook and Twitter. You must.